Willkommen, bienvenue, and welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where we're leading the way in dynamic global education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. USA Global TV and Radio connects you with experts and audiences all around the world every single day to help you succeed in business and to live a richer life. Visit us at usaglobaltv.com to learn about career and life-changing training and mentoring programs, like the Listening Mentor. Subscribe to our newsletter to stay informed about our special programs and offers. Discover how you can become a guest on one of our shows or a host or producer of a USA Global TV and Radio show of your very own. That's USA Global TV and Radio, where the doctor is always in.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to USA Global TV and Radio. I'm Dr. JACALYN KERBECK, and our show today is the Mallorca Connection. I'm super excited for this topic, which is why supplements make sense and how to choose the right ones. So many products out there offered by so many companies, and it really does get confusing. Does one interact with another? What happens if you're taking prescription medication? So many questions I have. We have our star of our show, who also is quite knowledgeable when it comes to supplements and nutrition. Let's welcome Mr. Roland FRIEDL. Come on out, Roland.
Hello, Dr. JACALYN. Great to see you again. By the way, you look fabulous.
Oh,
you look fabulous.
Thank you. Thank you. You look well yourself. How is life on the road treating you?
Oh, I still love it. I still love it. Actually, my initial plan was to travel for a year or a year and a half on my motto. Now it's more than 10 months. So the resume right now is I don't regret one day with all the challenges, but life is challenges sometimes. And I will prolong it. So I just called the guy where I stored all my stuff from the large house in Mallorca, and I just prolonged the contract for the storage. So I will be staying long on the road. Yes.
That's fantastic. And, I know that you get to exercise and you eat well when you're on the road. Those two things in and of themselves, people might find a little daunting and reasons why they wouldn't want to travel. So before we get into supplements, I'd love for you to share with us, how do you eat well, eat right, and stay fit when you're traveling and you're going to new locations all the time? You don't really know what's waiting for you, do you?
No, absolutely not. But it's always a question of choices. And for me, nutrition became very important. Actually, I started very, very early in my young years. I was doing a lot of sports in different areas. At the moment there, I didn't supplement, but I knew about the benefit of good nutrition to stay healthy, to stay fit, but also to recover when you are after a sports session or when you get injured. So I learned a lot about nutrition. I did a lot of studies on that. And so nutrition was always very important for me. And I love cooking too. So to be honest, most of the time I cook for myself. I cook and barbecue for myself because I know exactly what I'm eating. Because, eating nutrition is not only because you're hungry and then you get satisfied. It's about the things you eat become part of your body, become part of your cells, of your mitochondria. So it's very, very important. I want to get what I do into my body. And as you know, I always buy local stuff. I don't buy any processed food. I try to avoid supermarkets to get food. So I buy local stuff, or organic stuff, grass-fed beef, or organic fruits, vegetables on local farmers, on local markets. That's important for me. So no processed food, real food, and I also get it on the road. Sometimes it's difficult, but if you want, when the why, as I always say, Dr. JACALYN, when the why is strong enough, there's the how, and there was no problem. And for restaurants, I often do restaurants, to be honest, because there was a huge change in restaurants. This convenience kitchen, the pre-cook and a lot of preservatives, and then they have this plastic bags with the food is in and put it in hot water, and then they open it and put it on your plate and you serve it. Even in the good restaurants, a friend of mine is one of the delivers of this high-end restaurants. And so I go, actually, on Sunday, I was in a beautiful small fisher village here in Portugal, and they are famous for octopus, and they call them himself the capital of octopus. And of course I went there. So when there is something special on the road in this area, I go there. But I'm looking for small restaurants, not fancy ones, not typically tourist ones, where I can get a real, fresh, authentic food without any shishi. And then I go there, yeah. But most of the time I cook for myself.
It's amazing. I really applaud you for that because I know you stay in great shape. And so, for anybody out there, a question that I've had repeatedly from other people when it comes to supplements, because people are always recommending take this, take that. How do we know if and when we need supplements?
Well, yeah, I guess we have to distinguish between staying healthy and being fit. Okay. So staying healthy I mean, actually in our society, in the Western world, we don't have any problems on vitamin C. So we're not losing our teeth 10 years ago because we didn't have, especially when we're sailing over the ocean, we didn't have any fresh fruits and vegetables. So people get problems. We don't have this in our society because actually, especially for those people who buy processed food in the supermarket, every soft drink and whatever, if you buy a muesli, whatever you buy, it's always enriched with any vitamins. So we don't have a vitamin lack to stay healthy, so we don't get sick. But to stay more than healthy, to stay fit, because we have challenging. We have all this. We have stress in business or in relationships. Maybe you smoke, or maybe you get sick, you get medications, or you live in an environment where there's a lot of pollution or whatever. So there are much more challenges. And to stay fit there, you have to supplement because a normal diet can make it. And the point is, of course, you can eat very, very healthy, but to be realistic, most people can't because they don't have the time. But I'm traveling. I'm the master of my own time. I decide when I work, when I don't work. So I can really look around and buy the best ingredients and prepare it freshly. But we have to be realistic. Most people can do it. Because they're in a full-time job. They don't have the time. Always buy fresh, get fresh ingredients, and cook fresh. That's reality. And for those people, they have to supplement for sure. Yeah, because they don't get all the ingredients that they need because they don't get fresh stuff every day.
I understand exactly what you're saying because I'm raising my hand. I'm one of those people. I used to love to cook, but I literally don't have the time to do it. And I find sometimes I have 10 minutes in between shows to have something to eat. And I'm not always necessarily reaching for the healthiest things. Sometimes I'm reaching for what's quick and what's going to be filling. So I take a number of supplements, but I'm really glad we're talking about this today because I don't have anyone who has recommended, okay, you should take this, this, and this, all these together. I have someone who said, hey, you really should take vitamin D, or you need to take apple cider vinegar. So I just start taking these things every day, really without a rhyme or reason, to fight inflammation. And I don't know that I'm actually have any idea of what I'm doing.
Yeah. Well, the point is, you said in the intro at the beginning, there's supplements became very popular the last 25 to 30 years. There was a huge trend going on. And so a lot of businesses coming, a lot of products on the market, and people get confused. What's the right thing? And everybody tells you it's the best product for you. We have to try out. We have to distinguish taking supplements a short time on a high dose because you have some challenges, some health challenges. So especially, I give an example, in winter time when there's the flu around, it makes sense to give a high dose and isolated vitamin C. It's a good stuff for a short time, but not a long time. So when you go for a short time because to fix something, it's good. But when you take it a long time as a prevention stuff, it doesn't make sense to take any high dose and isolated vitamins. Absolutely not. No sense. That doesn't make any sense. There are a lot of studies out of there. So the best thing is on the long term, on the prevention stuff, is fresh fruits and vegetables. That's the best. That's the best one. But we will see later. I prepared a small preparation. Not everyone has access to it, and the quality, especially of the ingredients like vitamins, phytochemicals, is not the same that we had 50 or 100 years ago because the extensive agriculture industry really exploded the floors, the ground, yeah, the soil. So it's not that much minerals in the soil that has been 50 years ago. So when we look at studies on different fruits and vegetables and look at the raw product, we could look about the raw product and the cooked product, and the raw product on a strawberry, on a banana, on a potato, on a broccoli, whatever it is, and measure the ingredients of different vitamins, minerals, enzymes, phytochemicals, then we see an incline, and decline, going down, sorry, a minus between 75 and 90% of minerals, enzymes, and vitamins in fruits and vegetables because of this extensive agriculture. It's not the same like we had many years ago when we bought it on the local market. That's the problem.
Yeah, you bring up some good points there. I know you have a deck prepared, and I'm looking forward to going to it. One question before we do, which is, I know many people, me included, would really like to have a life that is very much holistic, where there are no pharmaceuticals. And I know some people will actually go off of their medications that have been prescribed by their doctor to try a more holistic approach that's really a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables, but also they're supplementing and fasting. Do you think, in your experience, that you should just stop taking the drugs that have been prescribed by a doctor and go the supplement route?
No, not at all. First of all, I'm not a physician, I'm not a doctor. No, please don't do it. But what I highly suggest is when you have an issue and you're taking any medication for any issue, find a more holistic doctor in the beginning and talk to this person and stay with their products, whatever you subscribe, stay with the product if it's helping you for any reason. And maybe then you start changing your lifestyle. I'm not talking about a diet. It's a lifestyle change. Maybe you eat something differently. You let sugar away and stuff like that. A lifestyle style. Maybe you do more sports and stuff like that. And then you see that you feel better. Maybe whatever issue you have it goes down, you feel better, your blood tests are better, then you can talk to your doctor and maybe take minus of this medication. Yes, but please don't never do this. Stop it and go to this is not a good idea. Not at all. Yeah. But find a holistic doctor and find somebody who is really trained in nutrition. From my experience, I was working in the food industry for many years, and I trained hundreds and hundreds of doctors here in Europe on nutrition. And because it told me, this is Roland, we don't get trained on university. We get a few hours. Our studies, our university goes a few years. It's only a few hours that we gained on nutrition. We have no idea about nutrition, absolutely nothing. We only recommend what we hear from the government or official institutes. So I trained them for many years about nutrition, and it's most doctors don't know it. It's not their fault. They don't get trained on it, but there are more and more physicians who do their own research and do their own, besides education, on nutrition, but most of the doctors don't have any idea about it. But it's not their fault. It's not part of their education.
That's great work that you've done in the past, and I'm excited for this presentation. Would you like to get started?
We can start, yes.
Okay, here we go.
So before we started the presentation, I was talking about the best thing about fruits and vegetables. And first of all, I from my own experience, I was a vegetarian for more than 5 years. Actually, today I was writing a blog for Wireless Life Rocks about nutrition on the road. I was a vegetarian for 5 years. I was a vegan for 9 months. I tried different kinds of nutrition and diets. The reason for that is I only want to talk about things and recommend where I have my own experience. And if I read it in a book or somebody told me, I always tried it out for myself. I did keto diet, a carnivore diet. I did a extreme frugivore diet. I do a lot of fasting, intermittent fasting, stuff like that. So I try to live a lot of stuff out of that. And what I found out is no matter what kind of diet I just trying out, it's very important to get sufficiently the ingredients of fruits and vegetables. That's what I found out. It doesn't matter if you're vegan or whatever you eat. Fruits and vegetables have a lot of benefit, and that's why I always recommend fruits and vegetables. But the point is, as I said in the beginning, is that fruits and vegetables, they're not so enriched and like they have been years ago. The reason for that is, as I said before, is the soil has not the same quality because of this extensive agriculture industry that's going on. They put a lot of fertilizer in the ground, but that's not absolutely not the same. And the second thing is that even if you buy organic stuff, the problem is the same. Even an organic farmer, there's less herbicides and pesticides in the ground and also in the product you buy, but an organic grower or an industrial grower, they both have the same challenge. They have to harvest most of the stuff raw because they have to transport the fruits and vegetables, do a cross sailor, do the cities, maybe to another country. So that there's a lot of time of transporting and storing. So they harvest it not on the highest point, they harvest it on the raw point, or even raw point, on the cream point, and then the product is maturing during the transportation. They can do it officially with different chemicals. And the point is that the most beneficial ingredients of fruit and vegetables are only in the fruit, in the vegetable, when it's grown under the sun. So in the last 7 to 10 days, we talk about phytochemicals later, are in fruits and vegetables when they're harvested on the highest point, when they're really mature. So if you harvest them too early, it's not in. And I give you an example, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe you think back about your grandmom's garden, a fresh strawberry from your grandmom's garden. It smelled better, it looked better, and it tasted better. And these ingredients I want to talk about in presentation. So maybe bring up the text. So I call it the next best thing to fruits and vegetables. And I really stress this out. The best is fresh fruits and vegetables, no doubt. But as I said in the beginning, to be realistic, for most people, it's not practical. They don't have access to fresh fruits and vegetables every day. And to be honest, organic is quite expensive. It's quite expensive. It costs really money. And secondly, they don't have the time to eat it. And then we have to eat much more. There was from the World Organization, World Health Organization, and from many cancer institute, they recommended 7 to 10 portions, and one portion is a full of hand of fruits and vegetables raw every single day. We have to eat so much, as I said before, because they're not so enriched in all this important phytochemicals, enzymes, vitamins, minerals, and so on, than it has been years ago. So all these organizations encourage people to eat 7 to 10 portions. That's a lot, and it's quite expensive. And Dr. JACALYN, for example, when my girlfriend and I, when we've been invited to a party, a birthday party, most people bring drugs. I mean, drugs, alcohol, a bottle of champagne or cognac or whatever. But we always bring a huge box of fresh fruits. Always as pineapples, with papaya and all that, and it costs the same. You spend $100 on a huge box of fresh fruits and vegetables. It's quite expensive to buy organic, but I think it's much better than to bring some drugs. But anyway, so most people can afford it, to be honest. And again, fresh fruits and vegetables is the best one every single day, but most people don't do it for different reasons. Why is it important? I mean, maybe you have heard about an apple a day keeps the doctor away, just as an example. To be honest, not the green polished ones that we know from the supermarket. So, these ones that look a little bit rotten, that mature, maybe there's a worm inside. And there's one point, ladies and gentlemen, when there's a worm in the apple, you can eat it. If there's no worm in the apple, then it's full of chemicals. The worm doesn't like the chemicals. Okay. Yeah, that's what it is. But people, when you go in the supermarket, that's why I don't buy fruits in the supermarket. They look nice, yeah, but there's nothing in. It's just a lot of chemicals in. Okay. So the question is, what makes an apple a superfood like any other fruits and vegetable? And it's not about just the vitamins. It's not about the vitamins, the minerals. They're important, yes, but as I said in the beginning, we don't have a deficient of vitamins. We don't get sick. We don't lose our teeth. It's not that bad, but we have a huge lack of so-called phytochemicals. And these are a few hundreds here on the slide. You can read it because many. We have scientists believe that there are around 30,000 different phytochemicals in fruits and vegetables in total. 30,000. Yeah, it's a hell of a lot. And what are phytochemicals? Phytochemicals are chemicals in a fruit or in a vegetable that protect the fruit. For example, it's the tasting, it's the smelling, it's the coloring. So these are like the colorings, the beta carotenes, like you have this orange color, like you have in carrots or in other fruits and vegetables. So phytochemicals there are thousands and thousands of phytochemicals in fruits and vegetables. Most of them there's not a sufficient research, but what we know is that they are very healthy and very beneficial for our health. That's what we know. And not every fruit has the same amount and same diversity of different phytochemicals. So that's just very important that you eat different fruits or vegetables, not just only bananas or only pineapples, just mix it. So you have all colors. You have red, orange, yellow, green, so all different colors. So you get all these different phytochemicals from your daily diet. So that's what makes fruits and vegetables really superfoods, is the phytochemicals. And again, it's not about vitamins, it's not about minerals. Yes, they're in. It's also enzymes, of course, yeah, they're in. But the most important thing are phytochemicals. Okay, and there are thousands and thousands and thousands. And when we look at a little bit of scientific, I don't want to become too scientific or too superficial. It's when we look back on the studies in 1913, so a little bit 100 years ago, 110 years ago, we discovered the first vitamin. It's not so long that we know about vitamins. And less than 30 years later, in 1941, there have all 13, there are no more than 13 vitamins. All 13 has been discovered already 80 years ago. But the studies and the scientific research on phytochemicals just started in the 90s, so it's just 30 years old. It's not a very old science. And I said in the beginning, we know around a few hundreds, so about 1,200 phytochemicals, but we estimate that there are more than 60,000 phytochemicals, or maybe 100,000. We don't have any idea, in fruits and vegetables. So, and this brings me later to supplements. So if you buy a supplement, an isolated vitamin product, or maybe you buy a multivitamin product, then you have maybe 10 or maybe all 13 vitamins, maybe you have a few minerals in, maybe you have a few enzymes in, but you don't have 100,000 of phytochemicals in, like in an apple, like in an orange, like in I don't know, in a cranberry or in an avocado or whatever it is. That's the difference between an isolated synthetical product and nature. So the best is nature, and the combination of all this. And we know from research, when you a product in food, with ingredients, it's not about only just that you don't starve anymore, you don't hungry anymore. It's about you need this energy. You need the macros for your energy. Macros are the proteins, the carbs, and the fat. It's the engine for your engine. But you keep the engine going, you need the micros, like the vitamins, the minerals, the enzymes, the phytochemicals. And you need them all. And we know from studies, when we do blood tests and when we look in the cells, in the mitochondria, the body only absorbs the whole when there is the whole I would call it a symphony of all products. So if you take an isolated vitamin like vitamin C or D, whatever, you have to take it on a very high dose that a little bit comes into your cell. When you eat fruits and vegetables, where each ingredient is in a very low dose but we can see it in the cell. And what this means that several minerals, several vitamins need other minerals and vitamins that your body can absorb it. And this is called in the science world bioavailability. Meaning eating it is nice, but it doesn't really go to your cells there where you need it. And not just you go to the toilet and you flush it down. Okay. Bioavailability. This means you eat something, and then you take your cells and you look in your cells and you can see the ingredients in the cell. If it's not in your cell, it's nice to have it. Maybe you're not hungry or thirsty anymore, but it has no beneficials for your health at all. If you don't gas to your cells or mitochondria, no beneficial health at all. Okay, so that's called bioavailability. And we know from research that we need all this together. I give you an example, Dr. JACALYN. I don't know if you like, do you like classical music?
I love it.
Okay, man, I'm from Austria, and in Vienna I went several times. We have one of the best concert halls in the world with the best music. It's called the Wiener Musikverein beside the opera. It has an amazing acoustic inside, and I went to several concerts. And when this New Year's concert is very famous in Vienna. They broadcast it all over the world. So when you see this concert, you have more than 100 musicians on the stage, but you have a few musicians who play a violin or somewhere this. You have a few of every instrument. You don't have 100 violins and 100 drums. It's loud, but it's not nice music, you know. So many different instruments, musicians play together, and this is the same with all these ingredients in fruits and vegetables. That's the difference between an artificial, I call it a bomb, you know, high dose of something. It may help, it's loud, but it's not really nice to your body. Or you have all these thousands of ingredients in a low dose, and this works much, much better. Do you understand what I want to tell you?
I do, yes, I get that. That makes a lot of sense.
That's the difference. That's the difference. It's not about the dose. It's about the complexity, about the playing together of all these nutritions in fruits and vegetables. And I always say, my grandmother always says, nature is nature. Nature is more complex and is much better than any artificial stuff. And as I said in the beginning, it makes sense on a short time to supplement special things on a high dose because you really have an issue. It makes sense on a low dose, but on a long term, all the study shows when you go on the long term on especially in vitamin A and E, it's very dangerous to go on the long term to supplement this on the long term. We know it's producing cancer and other stuff. It's not good. There's a lot of studies outside. I can provide them. So on the long term, the best is fruits and vegetables, or the ingredients of fruits and vegetables.
So I have a question.
Please.
So when I went for my last blood work, my vitamin D level was very low. And I obviously am in a dark place all the time broadcasting. So I bought vitamin D supplements, but I was told by a few people that regardless of what it says there on the bottle, that you need to take much more than that for it to make an impact. And it sounds like that's what you're saying, if I'm hearing you right. But I also hear you're saying that it'd be better to get the vitamin D from fruits and vegetables or possibly the sun than taking what's in the bottle.
On the long term, or when you say on a preventive, yes. Slow on the short term, because you don't have enough in your blood. It makes sense to give a high dose on vitamin D. Maybe it's D3 on a good quality. Makes sense for a short time, yes, to fill it up. But then later going on more sunbaths and more nutrition. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. So if you want to stay physically healthy, and what we know is, of course, sleep is very important. That's another part. So it's sleep, relaxing, it's exercising physically, but very, very important is healthy food. That's what we know. Healthy food is very important, especially for those people who want to lose weight. I see it very, very often in the gym. People are working out like crazy, but they don't change their nutrition at all. They're not losing weight, and then believe because they worked out, they're exhausted, they even eat more from the bad stuff. So nutrition is very, very important, especially when you want to lose weight. 80% is nutrition. If you don't change your nutrition lifestyle, you can work out like crazy. It's not working. So nutrition is very important. Plus, of course, the workout. So nutrition is very, very important. And when we look at studies in the Western world, we see that we have the adults and we have the kids. Almost 90% of adults don't eat enough veggies, and 59 don't eat enough fruit. So we eat a little bit more fruit, but not as much as we should, and we even eat less veggies. With the kids, it's even worse, and especially kids. Kids are Kids are not small adults. Kids need much more because they're in a growing process. Their brain is growing, all the muscles growing. They need much more healthy foods. Especially for kids, it's so important to eat healthy and rich because they're growing and stuff like that. So we don't eat enough. When we see, and what is suggested is by the organization, especially by the International Cancer Organization, is, as I said, it's 7 to 9 portions. And as I said, a portion is what you have in your hand. It's quite a lot. And it's coming now. They say eat it fresh and raw.
Mm.
I mean, with fruits, we don't have an issue, but most of the veggies we don't like raw. So that's the best way. So some people started juicing. And I 30 years ago, I bought a juicer. I started juicing. Yeah. But I stopped it for 2 reasons. First of all, I only juiced what I love. Well, tastes good, but I didn't choose what I should eat because I didn't like taste. And secondly, I found out that I get too much sugar because, I mean, when for example, I started, many years ago, I loved fresh squeezed orange juice. I really stopped it because I found out it's just a sugar bomb. I will never eat 5 oranges. But I drink the juice of 5 oranges. It's a calorie. It's just a sugar bomb, nothing else. So I stopped juicing because, first of all, juicing, when you buy fresh fruit stuff, it's expensive to. As I said before, mostly we only choose what we love, what we really like, and not what we don't like. And the second thing is, you always have to clean this machine, which really is
Roland, I just want to interject. I had been juicing for a while. And then what I realized was that I was eating, it felt like I was eating like 5 meals in one thing. There were so many calories with all the things that you put in there. And then I was putting in some apple juice, which has sugar in it. And then there's a lot of garlic. And I just felt like, I don't know, I didn't like the taste in my mouth. I thought I was spending a lot of money. And it's deceptive because you think you're just having one drink, but it's really a lot of calories in there.
Absolutely. I mean, smoothie, but they became very popular, and it's a huge industry right now. But it's a sugar bomb. It's a sugar bomb. Mm-hmm. And think about it. When you drink a smoothie like this, how many you would never eat that amount of fruits in one way, and it's just the juice, a little bit of pulp. It's not the rest of it. You never would eat 5 to 6 oranges in a minute, but people drink it in a minute. No, that's not the best way. We already know it. It's not the best way. We thought it's a good idea choosing, but most people, and I actually years ago I was encouraging people choose, but most people don't do it. And secondly, they only choose the sweet stuff, not the healthy stuff. I remember one of my, I have 3 sons. They all grown up, and my youngest one said, "Daddy, why aren't the vitamins in my favorite vanilla ice cream?" I said, "I'm sorry, son. It's in fruits and vegetables."
When I was a kid, I liked taking vitamins because I took those Flintstone vitamins that are loaded with sugar. So it's just like eating sugar.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. So, and I was thinking about supplementing in a good way. And as I said in the beginning, you can supplement artificial product from the pharmaceutical shop, or you do something organic, something natural. And I'm always a holistic guy. I'm always looking for natural stuff. So I did a lot of research, and actually in 1994 I found a product. And since then I'm taking it. It's 29 years. It's going to be in June. I found a product that is very close to fruits and vegetables. Again, fruits and vegetables, fresh and raw, organic from your garden is the best, no doubt. But be realistic. We don't have the time. Sometimes I talk to nutrition specialists and they said, what are you recommending your patients? Your clients said, yeah, let's go to the forest and collect some herbs. I say, be realistic. Who has the time to do it every day? Who has a garden? And then maybe you live in Florida, maybe you can harvest the whole year. But when you live in the north, you can harvest a little bit in spring or maybe in summer, but not in winter. So we have to be realistic. So there's a lot of recommendations out there. Books are said, yeah, but it's not realistic. Most people don't have their own garden. Most people don't live in a hemisphere where they can harvest the whole year. And secondly, most people don't have the time to do it. Yeah, they're in a job. Yeah, the kids are at school, university, men and women both are working. It's not realistic to recommend stuff like that, and it's not working. And I was working with hundreds and thousands of doctors and nutrition specialists, and they told me, you know what? Mostly women came to me, asked me about a change. They say, yeah, it's a good idea. Women are more in fruits and vegetables than men. Men more than the beef eater or the meat eater. And it's like, yeah, women are very excited about it. They try to do it at home. They try it. And then the man said, the kids said, no, I don't like it. I don't like the taste. And then they give up after a few weeks and all is gone. It's not working. It's not realistic, all these recommendations. And I know that for me, I'm the same. I try to eat very healthy, but it's not always realistic that you can do it on the best way. And that's why I said, okay, I don't want an artificial product. I want a natural product, because when we understand all the phytochemicals, there's thousands of phytochemicals in an apple or in an orange or in a banana or whatever it is, it makes sense. And I found this product, actually you can see 3 boxes there. So the red one is there are 10 different fruits inside. In the green one, there are 10 different vegetables. And in the violet one and the blue one are 10 different berries. And I started with the red and green in 1994, so 29 years ago. And then the berries came later, and then there's another product on the omega, omegas. But I want to, maybe we do an extra on the omega, because omegas become more and more important for our brain and stuff like that. We do a lot of research at the moment about that. So this is a whole food product. It's not just a few vitamins that are mixed, or when a scientist says, I give an example. A few years ago, they found the red color of tomatoes, lycopene. I don't know if you heard about lycopene.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
What most people don't know is lycopene is, your body only absorbs lycopene when you heat the tomato. So when you eat the tomato raw, your body absorbs less lycopene than when you heat it. Mm-hmm. So when you make a tomato sauce, your body's taking more lycopene. Or when you eat ketchup, you have more lycopene than when you eat it raw. But the disadvantage of ketchup is
sugar.
A lot of sugar. Yeah, so sugar-free. Okay, but anyway, so that different stuff. So they found lycopene is important. So what we did is, when you go to a pharmaceutical shop a few years ago, they promoted your vitamin stuff and lycopene. Or they did the thing. So they found something new, and then they promote this new ingredient, this new phytochemical, whatever it is. The interesting thing is, with fruits and vegetables, whenever they find something in, it's always has already been in there. We just didn't know it because they didn't find it, So with this product, everything is in. So what they do is, I explain it to you how to produce it. They harvest different fruits and vegetables, and they harvest them on the highest point. So these fruits and vegetables don't look good like on a big shop. Yeah, they don't look good. You can sell it, because when you harvest them on the highest point, they're everything in as in the beginning. It's a natural product. There are no herbicides, no pesticides. It's not a fruit and vegetable that you would normally buy at a supermarket. It doesn't look nice, and you can do nothing with it, because it's too, it's too soft, because it's full mature. Yeah, so they harvest them on the highest point. Then they juice it. They make a juice out of it. They juice it, and what they do is, to preserve it, is taking out the water. Because when you take out when you take out the water of my body, but I look like a mummy, but I will last forever. So what they do is, to take the whole water out on a low temperature, not a high temperature. They don't cook it, because otherwise you destroy especially the enzymes. So they have this juice, and they take out the whole water. And what lasts is a little bit of powder. Because the vitamins, the minerals, the enzymes, the phytochemicals, then it's just small. So all the water is gone. Think about it. You choose something, and then you take the water out. There's not much left. And this is this powder. And they put this powder in a capsule. You swallow this capsule with a lot of water. That's very important. A lot of water. Yeah, a huge glass of water. The capsule open, and the powder mixes with the water, and your body absorbs the ingredients of a fresh juice of fruits, vegetables, and berries without the sugar. All the sugar is out. So it's good for that. It's had no calories. And that's also another advantage. What I love, and we did a lot of cooperations with diabetes centers. So especially people who are on diabetes, they have a problem on fruits. They can take it. They have the advantage of the ingredients of fruits without the sugar. So Juice Plus is nothing else than fruits, vegetables, and berries without the water, without the sugar, nothing added. That's all about it. It's no GMO, it's no herbicides, no better. It's just a natural product. And I can only take from my point of view. I started in 1994 taking it, and what really convinced me over the years is, and it's the only product I found on the market, is that have more than 30 gold standard studies, meaning placebo-controlled. The crossover effect goes to the on teeth, on a better skin. Women look better, get a better skin, better teeth, better health. Many studies that are published in the most renowned scientific journal, not just in the newspaper, not on Google, in the highest recommended journals in the world. In the middle, you see this blue JACC, the Journal of the American Cardiology, for example. Yeah? And in the highest papers, it's really difficult to get in. You can't buy them to get in. Yeah, if you just start. So they have a lot of research done on different aspects. But again, the best way is still fruits and vegetables. The best way. And what I always recommend is, when I take in the product, but it doesn't mean because I take the product that I stopped eating fruits and vegetables. Not at all. I even eat more than in the beginning. Okay, so please, it's not a miracle pill that you take. It's not about say, okay, I still keep going with my bad habits. Please don't do this. Yeah, please don't do it. Change. It's all about a lifestyle change. Okay, please eat as much as fresh, as less processed, as less sugar, if possible. It's a good product. As I said, I take it in June. It's going to be 29 years that I take it on a daily basis every day. But please go on a lifestyle change. Here you see where they grow it. They grow it in different countries. The berries in the north, where they grow it, where they can harvest it in different countries in the all over the world, but it's all non-GMO, no herbicide. It's 100% herbicide and pesticide free. That's what I recommend. But there are many products on the market. That's what I do, because for me it's important to take the best into my body. And to be honest, I hardly see a doctor. I don't take any medication. So I say for what I spend here I always say it's my future, because if you don't spend the money on good nutrition, you will spend it later to get healthy again when you're sick. Yeah,
absolutely. How do we get this?
Well, the best way is for our audience. If you want, when you're interested in, please contact us, contact Dr. JACALYN or myself, and we'll let you know how to get it. Just to finish it, what I really is excited about the company is kids get it for free. Kids get it for free. I guess I'm not quite sure. I have to find it out. I guess between the age of 4 or 5 to 21, kids get it free for 3 years. So when for example, the parents take it, yeah, then the kids get it free, because they have a huge more than 1 million kids worldwide. This is the largest private study on kids on nutrition. And we get a lot of feedback from the families that the kids there eat healthier, they eat less sugar, less soft drinks. They're much more healthier, and they're much more focused and in school. So they're, how to say, their concentration in school is much better for them. So it's all about nutrition, because most kids, especially kids, eat too much sugar, especially in the morning. All this American and Europeans breakfast with sugar is very bad for kids. Very bad for kids. So kids get it for free.
It's wonderful.
Yeah. Do we have more slides? Well, that's about it. It's about fruits, vegetables, and I became a huge fan of berry, because actually around the last 10 years there has been a lot of research done on berries, and berries are so healthy. But the real ones from the forest, not from the supermarket.
Such a pretty picture, isn't it? It just is so vibrant, and you want to put that in your body.
Yeah, you want to grab it.
Yeah, that was a great presentation, Roland. Thank you.
You're very welcome. As I said, I'm not a nutrition, I'm not a doctor, but I just take from my own experience. And I will be next year 60. I'm still good in shape. I don't take any medication. My blood pressure is just perfect. It's all about, making choices, making the right choices. It's all about making the right choices. And that's what I want to inspire people. I don't want to educate you. I just want to inspire you, And the point is, when you feel good, when you're healthy, you can do much more. You can be more successful in business. You have more time, more energy for your family, for your hobbies, whatever it is. Stay healthy. I mean, there's only, there are thousands of different illnesses, but there's only one health. There's only one health. And when it's too late, it's too late. So please go on a healthy way.
Roland, I really appreciate this, and the timing is perfect. I'm going to be 60 next month, and I woke up today and I said to myself, you've slipped into some bad habits that you used to do. You had stopped doing them, and I made a decision that today I was going to start getting back into nutrition. And then here we are with this program today, which is, again, perfect timing. So you've got me hooked in. I hope everyone else out there is reevaluating the choices they're making and what they're putting into their body as well. So thank you. And we actually have a show tomorrow, Food and Our Emotions with Red. And I'd love to have you come and present this there as well. If you're available, I'll talk to you about it after the show.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, I tried to. When the network is good on my trip, yes, I tried. Yeah, that's one important thing. Most people don't know it, because the food has an impact on your emotions. Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, this is a brilliant presentation, and I've got a lot of comments and questions. But I know you have a show coming up right after this, and
Show.
Yeah. So thank you again. And how can people reach out to you to find out more information about this?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the best way is go to my website. There's a contact form. It's my name, roland.friedl.com. I will spell it for those of you who are on a podcast or are listening on a radio station. It's rolandfriedl.com. Send me just an email, and then we can have a chat on email or on another tool, and then I can let you know, because I know this company is selling the product almost worldwide. I know in Canada, in the US, in Mexico, I know in Brazil, in the whole Europe, in Asia. So yeah, let us know, and we can make you a contact to get a product, especially when you have kids or grandkids, or will do something good. As I said, kids are for free.
Outstanding. Thank you again. And you will be right back with the men's show, Wild at Heart Bonfire Talks. What will you be discussing today?
Actually, we're going to continue our last show. The last show we've been talking about why men avoid deep talk. Why are so scared about it? And so the panel, afterwards with the show, with the guys, with the gentlemen, we came together and said, maybe we should go deeper. And so today we're talking about why men need deep talk. What's the advantage for them in their life when they go into deep talk?
Outstanding. Thank you. All right, Roland and I are signing off for now. You'll get to see him in just a few minutes, and you'll get to see me again tomorrow when we come back for our first show, which is Food and Our Emotions, which hopefully Roland will be able to join us along with Red O'Loughlin, who's a longevity strategist. I think that'd be a very interesting conversation.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Bye-bye, everyone. Stay healthy.
Bye, everyone. We'll see you soon. Hi, this is Dr. Jacalyn KERBECK, the President, Founder, and Chief Listening Officer here at our network at USA Global TV and Radio. Thank you so much for your loyalty. Thank you so much to all of our guests, to our team members, to our sponsors, and to all of our elevated listeners. Here at USA Global TV and Radio, we provide world-class education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. We celebrate all of our team members, all of our guests, and all of our sponsors from around the world who come and lead their lives with their hearts to help other people walk into their greatness. If you'd like to be a guest on any of our shows, please go over to our website, usaglobaltv.com, and book your session. Please contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com and subscribe to our channel.